Okay, everybody. This is the second half of lesser known campgrounds in small town America, except we're going to make a small exception. This is Topeka, Kansas, and it's a big city. But I feel that it's worth noting this particular site because it's not one of the normal private campgrounds that gets all the ratings. And that would be Lake Shawnee in the southeast side of Topeka, Kansas. The access to this one is pretty easy. It's off of 470, the interstate. You turn east onto Southeast 29th Street. The campground is on the east side of the lake. The reason I'm also mentioning this one is, well, this campground's really complete and the price is very reasonable. And apparently they have a lot of space for tents. It comes with flush toilets, showers, fire pits, and they're nice ones too. I saw a picture of them. And there's also a laundromat. And the price is pretty darn reasonable. For a tent site without hookups is $18, and that might be the same price for the hookups for the RV sites. There's one downside to this campground I noticed reading comments is that the sites are pretty darn narrow, and people are saying they're really narrow. So be aware of that. It's always going to be never going to be a 10 unless I've actually visited there. So 9 and then -2 for the narrowness of the campsites and that it's really darn close to Topeka, and which is a large city. And as far as campgrounds go, I tend to prefer and recommend the ones that are a little more remote. And honestly, this is supposed to be about small towns. Temeco's not a small town. So there really isn't that much more to say about it. However, just in case you get frozen out, especially if you have an RV, I do want to mention that there is a KOA about 3 miles to the southwest. I did check it out briefly. They have full service, looks good. However, you're going to pay at least twice as much. I think the quoted rate I saw was about 43 with the taxes, and that's without hookups. So if you're with hookups, you're probably looking at about 6. So that does it for part 2 of Topeka, Kansas. Check out part 1, which is the Lessman Farm, which is it for everybody. And this one is. That's all I have to be said. On to the next great campground, I hope, in the next small town.